Hello my fellow supports, HotRod08 here, and welcome to another Support VOD review video, where each week I look at one of your submitted games and go over it, try to give you some tips and tricks as to what you can do better. We go through the entire game and give a review, and, praise you if you do something well, but hopefully you send a game that you can actually learn something from. Now, in the future, real quick, if you want to submit one of your own games yourself, I'm going to put a link in the top right corner of this video, which will be a tutorial, and you can take a look at that and then submit a game. Usually each week I'll take submissions from Wednesday to Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on both times. As for today, though, we are going to be looking at Mommy Fix game, which he is currently a Gold 3 player in North America. And today he ended up playing a game Lulu, so let's get into that game, see just how much we can help him. Alright, so looks like we're in our game. We have Mommy Thick on the red side, as I said, playing Lulu. And for this game, it looks like it is going to be Lulu and Misfortune versus Jinx and Rakan. So we'll talk about that lane real quick. I feel like Misfortune and Lulu have the advantage in this lane early. Misfortune's going to be able to put out more damage and more poke damage than Jinx is going to be able to, as long as she plays that correctly. As well as Lulu has more damage than the Rakan early and can poke him down from a range. Now, if the Rakan can get a W off on Lulu, they might be able to get kill potential. I do see that he ended up going the Spell Thief's Edge, so he himself is looking to be aggressive, but we'll see if they're able to actually do or not. Now, I'm surprised. One thing I want to note here is I'm surprised you went the Exhaust. Just because, as I said, you're supposed to be aggressive in this lane. I feel like that would be the goal of it. I think guys do have the potential to be aggressive, and I feel like the Ignite would be better damage output. But not to say that Exhaust can't work here either, as it works well against, Jinx doesn't have much mobility, so it can slow her down from running away. Graves and Echo can also jump in, might help her in the later game. I think I still would have gone Ignite, though, just because of the kill potential that you want to go for. So, you do want to get as much poke as you can. It does look like you're taking a little bit more harass than you want here, though. You took a few too many rocket splash damages. Looks like... How's that gonna work? Okay, so he does get away. He needs to be backing out. I don't know what he is doing at this point, but we're not talking about him this game. And I don't think you should be leaving your lane to help him, so that's not an issue. I think with how aggressive you can be, I think you should be playing just a little bit farther forward, trying to get a little bit more harass down on the streams, especially if you're about right here at this point, or you can be on this side if you really don't feel safe being close to the river. I think you can have a little bit more lane presence, just because, as I said, you two have damage outputs are going to be higher than Rakan and Jinx. There, you got some good harass there. That was nice. You do know, if you're paying attention to your minimap, that this Udyr just died. And with the Graves top lane, I'd be really aggressive at this point, trying to get a little bit more poke damage on them, because you're playing really passively at the moment. And with knowing that Graves was up here, I'm assuming that you didn't realize that he was up there, because there's no reason for you to ward this early. Knowing that Graves was already up there, you could have waited just a little bit longer. I would ward probably about now would be the correct time. At least, if he beat immediately after getting that kill, it would be right about now that he would be able to get to your lane. So waiting just a little bit longer than that to save your wards time. A little bit nice. Also, this early, without them, you should be auto-attacking at the moment. With it being this early, I think you could have warded up here, been a little bit more aggressive. They don't have a control ward that you needed to ward out. So getting a more aggressive ward up here, I think would have been better. Will give you more time to react if need be. And there's a lot better chance that he is going to go this way through these tri-bushes than all the way around or over a cone. Now you just saw, yet again, looks like that Graves was able to get a kill on the top side. You don't have to worry about that. I would be trying to be as aggressive as you can safely be. You have a lot of mana too, so you can use the ability to hit a minion with your E and then use your Q to get some poke damage that way. Keeping it aggressive here though. He's got half health and you're full health with full mana. And you know Graves is just demolishing out top, so you need to just keep poking. This Misfortunes has enough in order to back you up if you really need to. So, I think learning when you can be aggressive and paying attention to where the jungler is early in the lane would really help you. I would say that was a little bit unsafe since you didn't have the ward coverage. You could have got W'd. And they could have possibly followed up on that. Just be careful on what you're doing. So you know they're backing. Okay. Get stopped their back. It's a little bit risky, but worked out. So you're waiting to get around. I don't think you're gonna have this priority unless if you're pinging this Udyr to come to you, which you're not. If you're gonna stay in this lane, I think it would have been safer to walk around instead of possibly getting collapsed on. It worked out for you. Wow, that was some nice damage on him too. But yeah, just walking around I think would have been better there, just because you could have got collapsed on if the Graves did eventually come or something. Do you have flash? If I were you, I would flash. Like, flash right now, exhaust. And she could have healed in order to catch up if you really needed to. I think you could have gotten a kill there if you would have just been a little bit more aggressive with it. You had exhaust too to slow them down, and they both flash. Okay. Wow. Really patient with that. Okay. I think you could have also held off on you auto-attacking at the end just because of that shutdown goal would have been really good on one of your carries. So that's not entirely, you know, detrimental. But I think you could have held off. He's gotten away. You've got... Yes. So you guys are going to get this objective. That's good. You need to back ASAP, though. There you go. Alright, so for this beginning of the game, yeah, with him being almost dead, there's no point of trying to. Now, if you want to, you could ward about right here. It's really nice to get those deep wards while you're here. You could just get a ward right there. That's a really nice spot if you're already that far. The main things, at least at the beginning, I'm going to write down. Learn to be more aggressive. Yeah, and this is also, yeah, you have to be smart about it. But there were times you do have priority in this lane early on. You do have better damage outputs, so you should be trying, and you do have a range. You do overrange him too, so definitely something that you should look at. And then also keeping track of the jungler. If you were looking at your mini-map multiple times, you should have known that Graves was top a lot, and you could have been even more aggressive in those. So, between learning a little bit more early game aggression and keeping track of that jungler, looking at the mini-map, I think would help you. Like right now, you know that this, if you're paying attention, you know that this Graves is just mowing down your Udyr, and you can be, you both have a health advantage. You should be about right here. You should be way in front. There's no way you're gonna get destroyed. As you got that aggression. Now, I will say I'm not sure how close you are to level 6. You do a little bit have to worry about him getting to level 6 before you. Haven't been exactly paying attention to how close levels are. There you go, you're level 6 yourself. Yeah, you definitely need to be in that front trying to poke them down. Getting that dominance there, because you do have dominance in this lane at the moment. Yeah. Getting those turret shots hurts a bit. Alright. So he's got that warded. Alright. So as for your goal, again, if you're keeping track of Rakan, trying to just get some more poke damage off on the Jinx, you do have enough mana to use your abilities to shield yourself and then get auto attacks and stuff. So, just in general, I just don't think you're being aggressive enough. Also, at this point, you have way too much mana. You should be using it on something. And it's good you have your mana to use it, and she's low, but think about how much lower she'd be if you're actually able to get those abilities off more. Be able to have that dominance, be able to get her off those lanes. And now they backed. You need to be pinging. Now, this is a mistake from you guys. You know she backed. You need to be pinging your ally to be pushing that wave. You need to be auto-attacking that lane yourself, because now it's just freezing. You know that Jinx went back to base. You need to crash this wave into it, so you're denying Jinx that gold and the experience that Jinx is going to have now. And also, when you do get back to the lane, if they don't auto-push it to death, you don't have to be so far, which actually looks like they are going to be smart and just last hit. So now you have to push yourselves out farther than you really needed to be. Now he's going to start hitting it. So, not letting enemies freeze lane, because you should, even if your 80 carry didn't push it back, you should have seen there that they could have been able to just freeze there, and you guys had priority in order to push the lane and deny them experience and gold. So make sure you're being aggressive with your own pings, telling your 80 carry or showing them that you need to push it. Now you saw this Rakan go mid. Yep, it looks like you're trying to engage. That's good. Now I hope you can get... Ooh, nice flash. Okay, you need to be pinging. Okay, I think... nice job. That was really good. Alright, so that was a really good move. Now it sucks that you got yet another kill. I wish you were able to get those more to this misfortune. That might have been one that would have been really hard to trade off. I will say you saw that this Rakan was going up, and you took the opportunity in order to do something about it, in order to actually initiate that team fight when it was or that pick when it was in your favor. So that's good. As opposed to this Ardent Sensor that you got, though, I'm not 100% sure if that is the right call as your first item, though. Just because Misfortune isn't auto-based. You know, she's more ability-based. She's more lethality-based, not exactly auto-based. And the only other true auto person you have is Udyr. Garen does auto-attack, and so does Cassin as well, but they're not auto-based. Whereas you're getting that item for that 80 carry normally. that's... Did you save him? There you go. So, you know, if you're being cautious, make sure you're not going to get caught out of nowhere. Alright, you're being smart about that. I like your zoning, and you're making sure that you're not getting blown up. You're keeping your distance like you need to. But you're still staying relevant. Let's see how this fight goes. All right, looks like you had a pretty good fight there. Now you need to be pinging. Yep, got objective in there. Looks like they're gonna go down. All right, that was a good team fight for you guys. Now, as I was saying though, I don't think this Ardent Sensor is really good for you. Yeah, if you saw, and that whole fight you had, now you're getting it because you're attacking Mountain. Before you're attacking the Mountain Drake, you had like 30 damage on hit from that and that whole fight. If you're had an AD carry like Tristana or a Vayne, someone that's auto-based, I feel like the Ardent Sensor would be good. But with Misfortune, I just don't think it is worth getting on Lulu. It's something you need to learn how to switch. If I were in your shoes this game, and you wanted to go that healing style and still get the damage from the AP, I think Athene's would have been a good choice. If you don't go Ardent, I think Athene's is usually a pretty good choice to go. Lulu does a lot of damage herself, and then you'll get those stacks of Athene's pretty fast. And then, after you get those stacks of Athene's, you can easily shield an ally and heal them and get them extra heal off of that. So I think Athene's would have gone better. This game will have kept Misfortune alive in possible later team fights. Just looking at different options, you could also go something like Zeke's if you really want to. If you want durability, you could hook it to a couple different people and do decent with it. Or you could go Redemption if you want more team fights. Alright, so yeah, trying to get them caught off guard. Since you guys are in a good position, that's good. Alright, just make sure you're keeping your Misfortune alive. Make sure you're hugging her so she doesn't get jumped on. Now, at this point, don't hang around too long. Start trying to get objective. There we go. Alright, now I would be pinging your allies immediately to get this mid. This is what you want to get this tower. I wish he wouldn't use that eye just yet, just because I think it's going to waste some health taking that tiny bit where you didn't really need it. But, there we go. He didn't lose health, that's good. That was perfectly timed. Now, if you can get this second hit, it's going to do a lot of damage. Who's alive? I would back off. I would be telling your allies to back off at this point. Ooh, that was not good. Yep, you guys overstayed on this one. So Graves was dead. As soon as he spawned, as soon as he got that hit off the Rift Herald, I think you guys should have backed. You could have pinged your allies to get back, and you just need to learn how to not overstay. Yeah, because you guys were really far ahead. Now it looks like you're just falling apart. That's not good. You guys had a pretty good dominant lead. You're still ahead in gold, actually. But that one mistake, and you being a little bit too far forward on their tower, really made a big difference in that. When you're in chair, especially like the mid game, you really don't need to be getting near enemy towers, even if someone else is taking the aggro. It is really risky. Someone squishy like Lulu. With that aside, the next thing I would do if I were you, Baron's going to be up in a minute. I think I would prioritize the top side of the map. See, you're going to this bomb side. There's not really a reason to. There's no objective that's coming up. You also don't need to be coming down here for the farm. And you can ward out, that's fine. You should be pinging someone else, like giving them a flag down in order to do that. And you're warding this side of the map, the bomb side, but there's no objective over that. There's no one trying to split push. So there's not really a reason for you to be wasting your wards. You really need to be getting that top lane priority. You need to be flagging your team to get to the top side, telling them to get away from this, because there's no reason for them to be down here. He's getting caught. Yep, that's going to... Now, you should definitely back off. There's no reason for you to be here. You're going to get absolutely destroyed. And you should really not be engaging either. Yep, trying to get him out as much as you can. Guys, this is not a fight that you want. Looks like Garen's getting some work done. And their Maokai left for some reason. I'm assuming he got disconnected. I just really don't see there's a reason to be down here. Garen's pretty good at saving himself. So there's no reason for you to be trying to chase any kills. If that's what you're doing, yeah, that's what you're doing. You're trying to stop any backs chasing kills. Your side of the map you need is this top side. Now you have multiple control wards to be taking care of that. So you know it's not started yet, but you still need to get more priority over that. And this is going to really hurt, and you barely got out of that. That's good. So, up here, get this priority. Try to get your allies to take this tower. It's going to be a lot easier to get this Baron objective afterwards if you can get that tower, as opposed to just screwing around on the bot side when there wasn't an objective for such a long time. Now, Infernal's up, but you were way ahead of trying to ward up that side of the map before the Infernal was even up. And now you guys haven't backed in forever, and they're just going to take this within a few seconds. Because you lost all priority on this objective. So, working on prioritizing, looking for next objectives. And warding on objective side. Would be good. I think you really should have warded up that side, because the Infernal wasn't, when you were warding up, it was maybe about 2 minutes away from actually being done by any means. Now you're coming down here, you're by yourself. There's nothing for you to be doing. You've got a couple dead allies, and the only 2 allies you have is over here, so you really should be catching up to them. You are going to them now, but you should have been going there longer. Even if they push out the bomb, there's nothing you can do there. Still, yeah, you're backing. They just die. Yeah, I would have just ran over straight to your allies from the beginning of that one. No need to be lingering over here for so long when you were by yourself. Couldn't do anything. Now, another thing I haven't said yet, or at least written down, was being more proactive on warding, or sorry, on pinging objectives, and what you guys should do next, because you really need to get your allies to either mid or top side. Those are where your objectives are, and they're over here dicking around. You really need to be given flags. So you head to the center, head up here. Now we do have nice ward coverage, at least on that side. We just need to see what is going to happen. how you guys are able to control it, because your objective, your person to protect right now is going to be that Miss Fortune, even though she's not doing crazy good. She's going to be the one that you're trying to peel for. So yep, you're staying close to her. Really, at this point, you're just waiting for your allies to be the ones that make initiative. But you should also be pinging out where you need to be. I do see a lot of pings coming out. You see that? Okay, yep. Ooh, oh my goodness. Wow. No, you did finally get that. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, man. You guys got comboed to death. That's going to be... Wow. That was extra. I'm going back just because how... So 5-man and then his ult. Gosh, and how fed he is. And then even more AoE effects. And yeah, at that point, there's no reason for you to flash there. Honestly, you should have been trying to auto attack. I think you two would have been able to do something against him if you were just a little bit more aggressive in that. I think he would have actually died earlier, so I think it could have gone a little different if you were just a little more aggressive there rather than flash away immediately. But that was a really good combo from them. I can't even... Like, that 5-man Rakan ult knock up into Graves, ult into Jinx, hitting them from the side as well. That was just devastating. So... there's not much you could have done that one. The best thing could have done, you had perfect step, is just to try to get pick, and you had the right target. Graves was so far ahead, it's just he did die fast enough that Rakan was just able to capitalize so well on it. Just not flash away. I think that was a little bit too early. I think you could have been a little bit more aggressive in that situation. Now, you guys are going mid. You do have vision still, so you shouldn't be rushing it too much. You should be flagging it down for people to push lanes. That's really important. Ooh, nice job. Now, with that pick down, you gotta be pushing lanes. You gotta be doing something. That Rakan is overstaying. You gotta see if you can. You need to either be pushing lanes or starting this Baron. You're not doing either. Someone needs to take charge of what's happening because you guys are getting poked down. Really, you need to push out these lanes because it's hard to do anything else without that done. I think this is a risky Baron. It's 5v4, but with the Graves jungle being so far ahead, and you guys need to be, changing targets. As soon as he was there, you need to stop DPSing on that Baron. That's a really common mistake in lower elos, is not changing targets when you're doing an objective like that. I'd like to go back 15 seconds. So as soon as it gets right, you need to be pinging. Someone needs to be pinging to go to attack this. You guys are DPSing this for no reason. You guys are just taking free hits at this point. And yeah, you die from that and get a crit. Yeah, it's just gone with at this point. You guys lost because you didn't turn. So, yet again, learning something like that. You need to tell in like the chat. You need to know, like, if they come, you need to tell them that you need to change targets. Attack them if they come. Be proactive with chat and leading. Because I think you guys could have won that game if you would have just turned on him. I think that if he was right there, I think if you guys turned on him, he would have been dead. Especially if you would have got W on that Graves, you will turn the Squirrel right when he goes right next to the Baron. I think it would have been dead. I'm assuming this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be the fall, I'm assuming. Pretty close. Now they're just dicking around at this point. Do they actually not finish the game at the moment? Because they're joking around too much? Wow. Maokai wasn't even there. He just reconnected. That's crazy. Yep. So, learning how to... the main mistake for your, I'm just saying, your team in general was that Baron. Now, the Baron call necessarily isn't bad, although it'd be good to have those outside lanes pushed out and give it a little bit more setup. But the main issue is that I wish this would not be frozen at the moment. You guys in turn, when the jungler came, that absolutely destroyed any chance of you guys being able to do anything versus them. Yeah, just turning with help. But the things I've written down for this game: learn to be more aggressive within that laning phase, but be smart about it. I think you guys had the better laning and priority in that game. I think you guys could have done something better within that early game, being able to dominate more. I think you could have been a little bit more forward. Track the jungler. I think you could have, if you would have paid attention to where the jungler was at certain times, I think you would have had an opportunity in order to be able to be more aggressive, because you would have known he would have been on the top side, making a mental note as to how long it would take him to get the bot. If he would have beat immediately, just head straight to bot lane, you could have been more aggressive while in the middle of that. Next was not letting enemies freeze lane. That when you needed to push that lane all the way, you needed to push that minion lane all the way to the tower. When you guys backed, you knew the Jinx was back. You needed to, and you knew it was safe to push it out. You should have pushed it out to the tower, make Jinx lose experience. And that gold. Looking for next objectives, you should have. You should be looking at your tabs, looking to see what objectives are coming out. Warding that side of the map is very important. You're warding up that bomb side of the map when Baron should have been the next side of the map you would have warded up, because the Infernal wasn't up for another 2 minutes, and that was the immediate objective. As I said, warding up on that objective side. And then being proactive with pinging and your chat. You need to be taking control of your games, telling your allies what they need to do, showing them exactly what they need to do. If you're going to carry yourself, you need to learn what you need to do in certain situations, like when you're at the Baron, you know, tell them in chat if the enemies come, turn on them, or ping, you know, that they're there. You need to ping what side of the map you need to be on, giving flags to where you need to be, what objectives need to be taken, what turrets need to be taken, but just leading your team, being that leadership role that support's going to be. I don't know why this computer ended up freezing trying to go back in the game. Wish I could show you a little bit more on the map, but hopefully you've learned something from this game. If you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them for you. But rather than that, I'm going to be getting off here. I hope you enjoyed this coaching lesson. I do this every week. Every single Monday. This week's a little different since I had some stuff to do Monday, but I'll be trying to keep it on Mondays. If you want to submit your own game, it's Wednesdays through Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for both of those times. I had the link to the review in the description and in that top right corner earlier in this video. But rather than that, you guys have a great day today. Thanks much.